been going all right so far. And obviously you sent me the videos, so I could see, obviously, what sort of walking for both of you as well is going all right. What I want you to just do straight off the bat now is just a little demonstration, really, of how you've been doing it over the last week or so. And then I just want to see if there's any I just want to make sure you're getting it right from what I said from last week. And then I'll jump in with a couple of like pointers or something if there's anything that's worth changing. But let's just have a quick demonstration now what that looks like, and then we'll move on a little bit as well. So as you're moving around still, I'll look out and see if there's anything worth me just mentioning. As we're moving around as well, I'll just talk a little bit. So what are we, I've seen it a couple of times already there before, but what are we getting like when it comes to wanting to chase cars and that? Yeah. Okay. So she's still reacting towards the cars, but you just feel as though once she goes to do it, it's easier for you to she gets hyped up, but it's easier for you to bring her down, get back to normal again quicker than it normally would.
Yeah, we've always had this issue where, for me, she'll explode at the cars,
yeah.
And inside a second I can bring her back.
Okay.
But she never could it with Ellie, it was just carnage.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's with Ellie getting more confident walking, but she's now, like within a second of us both, a little pop.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
She'll come straight back down and go straight back to walking fine, she's not pulling.
All right, okay.
But she's still blowing up.
Right, yeah, so she can still react towards the car. Would you say, is it nearly every car or?
Same thing really. So we had it the other day. We got through 3 cars.
Yeah.
And then there was a dog barking at her from the fence.
Okay.
And a car flew past at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, so everything was overwhelming quick. There was that happening, and it kind of she got flooded with emotions quicker, and then that just made her spark up a bit more.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's exactly what you said in there. Trigger stacking. I've seen that in my life.
Yeah.
Where she was fine. She was a bit cautious about it. She was watching the dog, car flew past, and she just lost it.
Right. So what? So after that happened, the rest of the walk was hard.
Every other car, then she just completely flew off.
Right. Okay.
I do find this really as well. When we walk,
yeah.
If we're talking,
yeah.
It's like she tries to take this out of us.
Right. Okay.
When we're walking inside,
yeah.
She'll walk perfect.
Right. Okay.
Now she's trying to pull a little bit more now when I'm talking.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's still here as well, obviously, because of the issue with the cars. Every car that goes past, if you think about obviously what we were saying when it comes to trigger stacking, every one that goes past now is filling that cup up a bit more in it, and then it might get to a point where let's say you start off all right, and you're more receptive to listening to what I'm saying through the lead and stuff like that, but then every other car that goes past and it's adding to that cup, that's when it maybe gets to this part where it maybe becomes a little bit more difficult to try and manage her, if that makes sense, because of everything else that's happening around us. So again, I think maybe from a point that I said like last session is the environments that we go to, we kind of need to just for now limit the exposure. So I'm not saying hide away from cars, but what I'm saying is can we go to, if we're going to have to walk down a road or something, can it be on quieter roads rather than busy ones? This here can be quite busy. They'll go through, I don't know, we've had a stage there where 10 cars might have passed, but for now it's quiet.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to just, if 5 cars pass now, and we've got to think that that's contributing to her cup being filled up, and at some point she won't be able to hold it back and she'll have to react. But if we manage to just do well walking past 2 here, then what I'd want to do is have space over here somewhere to be able to just go and sort of relax and be a dog and let her have her own time and stuff. So then once we'd been able to do that, that's when I'd say, right, we're going to go back near them cars again, and I'll expose you a little bit and try and make that exposure, try and make it have a positive outcome from it, rather than like just walk down this road and go car, 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 like just one after another, because that that will fill up quick. And like you just said, from the point of sort of the explosion part the other day, where it was harder to bring her down after it, and then it was like every car we had to react, because she was probably doing all right with the cars, but then when you mix that in with the other dog reacting as well, it just flew her off, like flew her over. So what I don't want to do is put her right now. I don't want to put her in too many situations where them emotions would flood her quickly, because then all she'll be doing is rehearsing the behaviour of I'm going to reach a point, and then I'm going to be able to sort of react and lose my head from there. So if you just pass us the lead a sec, thank you. So what I want from you is, you can see, and even now still, even though I took the lead over as well, we do feel a little bit pulley, don't we? Like there, we can feel a bit of pull in there. So what I want to do is just adjust this slightly. So let's put that up there, and then with this stopper, I'm going to put it a little bit further down. Okay, so I've only got probably about this much now of a gap in between there. When we walk now, like that'll look now I've slapped the lead off, it looks as though that stopper's nearer to the bottom, but what I've still got now is I've got a pop in there as well now. So I want to be a bit sharper in my own timing to be able to communicate with you. Okay, so as we set off now, I want to get to a point. Can I figure out where is a good level to talk to you, in terms of, if I could, when I pop the lead, if I pop it on like a 1, would be if I just nudged it a little bit. If I popped it on 10, it'd be where I pop it quite firm. But I want to be able to find a point where I'm good with my timing, but also with my timing, I get the right level right as well. So don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that this is perfect now either, but just adjusting that down a little bit to where it suits us a little bit better, and me being able to pick my right time, I feel as though this is better for me now than it was when I set off a second ago. Because a second ago, it was tight straight away. I could feel like we was getting into a bit of a fight over the pressure to lead, and I'm relying then on my physical strength, if you want, to pull back like this, and you're trying to pull forward. So even though it's better, still not great either. And I don't expect it to be after a week anyway, but what I expect is just to keep seeing progress. And I think this part now will add to giving us a bit more progress. Yeah, so we've nudged the stopper down a bit more. Now my talking was done differently. So I reached a level, let's just say when I set off now, I went on a 4, let's say, the way I popped the lead. And because it was a bit firmer, now it feels as though I don't have to do 4 anymore. I can probably just tap the lead on like a 1 or a 2. So she's more responsive now to a lower level, because I let her know that I was willing to go up a bit more. And what we're doing now is we're not getting into a fight over pressure. I'm able to slip it on and off. And obviously that's the idea of the slip lead. Can I slip it? Because majority of the time now, I just want to feel like, now I feel dead relaxed and loose. And if I feel that way, then so is she. But as soon as I feel my arm like go to do this, to put pressure through it, that's where, that's not what I want to feel. And I don't want her to feel that either. But I want her to know that my communication will change through the lead depending on what she does. So let's say now we're just strolling along, we're relaxed, but I feel a little bit of a movement. Well, I'll just like nip it on a 1. But if then she goes, because of this car's gone past and it's made me lose my head a bit, then maybe I have to communicate a bit firmer than that as well. But I want you to know that I'm willing to go up a little bit. But I don't just do it for the sake of it. I do it depending on what you give me. If you're not gonna sort of try and challenge me and just walk along, quite nice, and I can just talk to you, as in like, say you try and budge out of this position now, and if I just nudge it on a 1, It's like if I just say to you, can you please not do that? If I have to go up in levels, it's like I come across maybe a bit more authoritative, like where I have to tell you straight rather than, like, and if I was going up to a really high level, it might look as though if I was verbalizing it, it might look as though I was shouting at you as well. But that's not where I want to get to. I want to be able to just ask you nicely and you respond correctly as well. But what I've not done yet throughout all of this is I've just been relying on that. The lead was going to do a lot of talking for me then. But what I want to be able to do, yes, is I want to be able to start to pay you as well when you're doing the right stuff. So I don't just want to constantly go on the walk and basically say, no, 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 no. Yes, I don't want you to do any of these things. I will, but I'll also tell you when I like what you're doing, because that's more important, to be honest, that you know what the right stuff is. Yes, if I'm telling you more often that I like a certain behavior, you'll do it more often. And then the more often you are doing it, the less likely I have to use the lead to talk to you as well. So, yes. And then now, let's go up here. Let's free you up a bit. Free. So, just maybe now we'll see what you're talking about before. So, I free you up now. You're allowed your own space and your own time. But what I'll try to do is, because you're smelling whatever you're smelling here, so you're like, all right, enjoy this. So I could stop here now and let you smell it, which I have for a good while now. But I'm ready to move on. So whatever I say, come on, and I tell you now that we've got to move on, yeah. And then maybe I'll just bring you back over to this area here and say, go on, go and have a smell around over there, because there's some really good smells over there. So, but I'm gonna follow you around. So we want to dive up at the camera, innit? You're trying to get your head on the camera here. So, do you know what I mean? I could follow her around a little bit now. Her nose has gone off over there, so I'll follow you over there as well. I want it to, like I said, this part now, I don't mind too much if there was just a slight bit of pressure in the lead. But if I felt as though you was getting into pulling, then I'd be doing my pops as well. So if I felt as though the line went from like this and it started to go like that, then as I'm getting near the end like that, I'd be just giving you a little nudge on like a 1 or a 2 if I could, rather than already let it get to a lot of pressure in the lead and then me have to go up higher in the lead. Does that make sense? So again, reacting towards the lorry or whatever that was when we went past. But see, especially when I've put that stopper a bit lower down, like I know I'm not really paying attention there and I'm obviously looking at you and talking to you. But then you've just gone and done something and your correction came from your action. I didn't even pull the lead. But you got corrected at the end of that and you might do it again now, but that car's just flew by and you've not chose to do it. And let's see if you do it with this one. But because of that action you did, yes, because of that action you did there a second ago, where you would have got a bit of a on the end of it when that lorry went past. Well, has that just made you think now for them next two? I'm not going to do that again, because you was met at the right time and the right level, if that makes sense. So because you thought about it. Let's see with this. So there, I've thought about it and I have gone, but I've not gone with a lot of effort either. I've gone like half-hearted as well, because what you was probably expecting was that correction was going to come at the end, and like that reaction, yeah, that was a bit more than that one, but that one is probably a lot less than what it is for real as well when you're out and about. So every time, if I can, when you're going to go and do this behavior, if I could capture you a little bit better, so like there, again, you thought about it then, actually, I'm gonna, and then you went, nah, I'm not gonna actually. But what would be important, which I did a second ago, was when, I'm gonna try and capture it again now so we can see. So there, you're gonna do it. Now I'm gonna manually, oi, don't do that. But what I'm looking for, which I did a second ago, is where we went to go and react, and then we didn't. So I used that marker word, and I said the word, and then I paid you after it. So if you know, like, let's see now. Okay, so that one then, we're gonna go and react. So I'm going to say, no, don't do that. But see, as I tell you that, I'm not emotional about it either. I'm not going to be pissed off and argue with you about it. I'm just going to tell you that I don't want it. And I'm not going to hold a grudge with you either. But what I'm waiting for is another one where this happens. Let's let that one go past and then we'll see. Yes, good. So there's no problem of looking. If you look and you don't act like a lunatic, I'll tell you well done. If you decide to like shoot off and try and react, you just get told no. But either way, whether it's a no or a yes, I'm not, my emotion isn't behind it. I don't get overly excited and then I also don't get really angry about it. I just stay neutral and I tell you it's a no or a yes. And then what happens for you is learning can actually take place then. If me as the person, yes, the person holding the lead, when you do something I don't like, it's easy for this person on the lead to get emotional and then start. If we get emotional in the behaviour, what we do is we start to pull the lead harder because we've lost you and we're trying to recover it and we're trying to get you to stop. But a lot of when it's like that, when we try and put the our emotion, if you want, behind the correction, most of the time I'd like to say that we're not actually going to learn anything in that moment because what I'm trying to get from you is a more neutral behavior. So if I can express that in my behavior, then what I'd like to think is that you try to copy me. You'd see that's what dogs are good at doing, is they're good at mirroring their owners, if that makes sense. So if you like, let's say now we're just chilling, we're watching these cars go by. So just out of them two, then the first one, right? The way I popped a lead, let's say that was like a 4, and then what did she do? Carry on. So then what I did, I had to go up to maybe like a 5 then. But then when I met her on that, all right, I'll stop now. Yeah. So if I know though, right, if I can figure out through repetition as well where I need to talk to you in what moments, like to what degree, then what's the point in me going, I'll nudge your lead, I'll nudge your lead, I'll nudge your lead a million times if I know I need to go to a certain level to get my point across? Because I think to myself, every time you react and I only go to like I nudge a lead on a 2 and it's a 2 and a 2 and I just keep repeating myself. I just repeat the same what command, or I keep repeating the same instruction to you and you just keep binning me off. So why don't I? Because every single time you react, yes, and you bin me off, it's stressful for you, but it's stressful for us holding the lead as well. So rather than us all get stressed out, if you're going to act a certain way, I could just be firm, tell you off, and then what you'll do is go, okay, I get it now. If I'm going to act like that, you're going to turn up with this correction. This one will be a good one. Yes, nice, good. So that sort of sized vehicle then going past was similar to the other one before, but it's important there where you've watched it go by and in your head maybe you are reacting a little bit, but you've not decided to go with it. So what I'll do is I need to make sure I mark and reward that behavior as well, don't I? Cool. So that's what I like as well, is when we say that specific word. So I'll say it now. Yes, there, we know what that word means. And if I can use that, if you know what the word means and I say it in a particular moment, you know exactly what you've done right. Where if I don't have that strong word and you do something right and I just say a random word in your head, you'll be like, I don't get it. Like, what was right about it? But if that's what's important to know, and I like it that when I say it, you instantly spin your head round and you're like, yep, I know I'm getting a reward now. So that's good to see as well. But also, like I said, I'm not going to be emotional in my yeses and my nos. I'm going to be neutral, balanced in my own emotion about it. So you can mirror me. You look at me and go, he's that chilled him. So I'm going to chill as well. Yeah. But like I said, I get it as well. In this environment now, it can be quite a busy road. So it can be one after another. And like I said, every time one goes past, it's filling your cup up a little bit. You're stacking your triggers up. So in the real world, if I could expose you to a couple of these cars that go past, and then I had space over here now to just go into that, like let's say a field off to the side, and just let you be a dog and have a yes and have a sniff around. Well, then I could go and do that, and then I could come back here and expose you to a couple more cars, and you'd do what you're doing now. You just sit and watch them, and then everything could be a positive experience from it. But because obviously the space that I've got here, and we're right next to the road, that it just goes, it's one after another constantly. And I'm not really letting you have a break from it. So it does get to a point where you've stacked too many triggers up and then you just have to react because you can't hold it back anymore, which you do well now. But what I could do, yes, is maybe if I didn't have the luxury, which I've not got here, of being able to go away from this part now, what I could do maybe more often is let's let that one go. Yes, is do I up the pace of me saying yes to you? Rather than just letting 20 go by and I've still not said yes to you. And then maybe after 20 you're gonna go, right, I need to react now. But maybe if a couple go past and everyone I'm just going, yes, 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 because I'm saying I'm gonna pay you. But I could probably up me paying you. If I'm upping that, probably going to see less of you reacting then as well. And then it'll get to the point, probably, I would say, where if I'm saying so many yeses and when it comes to every single car, you're going to just start anticipating that I would mark and reward that behavior when the car goes past. So car will go past. Instead of you getting emotional and drawing yourself towards it, you'd already see it and then turn and look at me straight away. Then I'd be like, yes, well done. So you'd already be forgetting about reacting and you'd be thinking a car equals look at you because you're going to pay me. So a positive experience happens in the presence of cars, not a negative one where I feel as though I need to start chasing it and stuff like that. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. Yes. I want you to come back out, go on the lead again. Like I said, I've adjusted that a little bit further down now. So I want you to take on board what I've just been talking about, and I want you to see now. I just want to know, does it feel any different for you now that it's gone a little bit like I've adjusted it on the slit lead? So get yourself back together and let's go for a walk. So just remember this, that we're going to walk. We'll stick with just like a path if you want. So we're down this side, we cut across you to turn, and then we'll carry on and then turn. Well, let's see if you can get as many turning into you instead of trying to cut outwards. Yeah. So let's go with that, and then let's just see.
Here. Close.
So I'll just talk whilst you're doing it as well. Okay. So get it turn in there, cut across. So just with your left hand, just think that we need to be focusing on having it relaxed and loose for as long as possible. So I know that's dead easy to say and maybe not so easy to do in person straight off anyway, but and that's what I'm really trying to search for, relaxation in the lead. Yeah, so that might mean that with my way that I communicate with you, I need to speed up my time a little bit. So I might need to, I think I explained it like this to you last time as well, of a pressure gauge, and this is empty and that's full. So when we're on empty now is where we are relaxed, and as soon as I start to feel any pressure in the lead, that's where the pressure creeps up a little bit. And it's at that point there, that first bit of pressure change is where I need to get my communication in. Because if I don't do it now and I let it grow, that's when it gets more into like pulling. Where if I can just feel that little change at the bottom, and then I can get probably a 1 or a 2 through the lead, that's where I can just go, I feel it on, I've turned it off, and then we can carry on from there. But if I feel as though I'm having to get into this where I'm like pulling, like my full arm is pulling back like that, is because if you think about the gauge, the pressure's like this now. It's grown more than I need it to. So if I can just be a little bit sharper in where I feel that pressure change. So just on in terms of how you're doing it here now, quite a lot there. You can see, like when you go to do the pop, you can see your full arm go up like this, and then a lot of tension comes with that. And I feel as though instead of that being a pop, it's more like a pull, because that the pull only needs to last for a second or two. But see, a pop, it's instant. It goes on and off within like milliseconds, really. So again, just a little bit quicker, just passes the lead again. So I know obviously with your hand is a bit of a nightmare. It's hard with a broken hand, but just on that, see when I go and get my little pops in, it's just at the bottom there. My arm doesn't do this. They're all at the bottom here, because if I keep my arm down there, I can focus on sort of more if wrist action, if you want, like flicking the pressure on and off, rather than it. Because as soon as we go like this, like that, yeah, a big pop comes, but it came through my full arm, and it ends up being, like I said, a bit more of like a pull, where the pull, if I do it like that, the pull of it lasts longer in terms of the pressure, and I don't really think much learning takes place. So if I can do it maybe where I like there's loose and relaxed, so I'm nudging it at the bottom there with just wrist action. I'm not having to fight, and really you're not really pulling too much, and I'm not putting a lot of effort into it. I can focus more here now on having a looser, relaxed lead, rather than when as soon as I go boom and pull back like that, it's gonna the pressure that you feel from it. Excuse me, you'll pull again, and then I have to pull like that again, and you'll pull again, and we keep maybe getting into a bit too much of a fight about it. So let's just see now. Think of it like that instead then. So we're gonna try, instead of full arm movement like that, we're gonna try more with wrist action instead of an arm movement, because a lot of tension comes through the lead, and obviously our arm as well, as soon as we pull up and back with our full arm like that. So let's just try now. Can we get little ones in at the bottom, wrist action? I think you'll find if you do it like this and you can get a good grasp of it, I think you'll find that you'll be able to focus on relaxed lead more than trying to find relaxed lead. Does that make sense? That I think that's one thing that people find quite difficult is trying to. I know we want a relaxed lead, but I'm trying to focus on the relaxed side of the lead, not when it's pressure. Yeah, so if you feel as though that the pressure grows far too much, and then you feel as though that you would get into that of going pull, pull, pull like that, I'd get some turns in. But like I said, these parts now, look, she's just stood there, she's observing the cars going past. So their moments now, can we jump on them a lot more and be saying yes and pay you? Because like I said, the more that we do that, the more she will do them as well. Right, so when it comes to chasing the cars and stuff, is because maybe we don't give you an outlet for your prey drive, let's say. Okay, so you see the cars go by and you see them, in something in your head just flicks on, and you're like, I need to go and chase these things. So what I might need to do is sort of replicate what it is you actually want to do through a game, rather than thinking I'm going to express myself in the real world when it comes to a car. So I know obviously, like you said, with we might play, maybe that was like tug and stuff like that. But maybe during play, I'll throw little bits in there that might make it look as though you're chasing something, because that's what you're saying. I need to do this behaviour, but obviously doing it where you think you want to do it against the cars is not ideal. So we want to do it through a play exercise. So what that might help with then is if I give you an outlet to chase things, is then you might say, oh, actually, I don't need to do it when it comes to chasing cars. What I'll do is I'll just wait for when we play the game, and then I'll express what I want to express there, and I just won't do it when it comes to cars and stuff. Okay, so when we do it during play, there'll be some rules during play, but there won't really be that much of a like a telling off, if you want, for chasing. But if it came to chasing cars at the side of the road, then I'll obviously have to tell you off, won't I? So again, it's having that clear understanding from her point of view where she's allowed to do it and where she isn't. Okay, so what there's a few different like pieces of equipment that are toys or whatever we want to say that we could use. Some people might use a flirt pole. Have you seen what one of them is?
Yeah, we have got one of them.
Bit like a fishing rod with something on the end of it, yeah, and put a favourite toy on the end of it or something. Get her chasing it around, let her win the object, get into a bit of a wrestle with each other, and then the game could start again. She could work hard to chase something and then grab the toy at the end. Okay, what I like more than a flirt pole though is I like something that's a bit more personal. So whether it's just like a little bike cushion or a wedge or a ball and a rope or something like that, because me personally, I'd rather that play be a bit more about, it's a bit more personal, like where we could build a bond together. So say if it's like the flirt pole and you're just sort of spinning around, and what the dog's potentially doing is maybe just not not really seeing that you're a part of the game. They might just see the thing that they're trying to chase around, and then they win that. So I'd rather the chase be maybe a bit more personal, where we do it together rather than it be somewhat separate from each other. Because at the minute, it's a bit like with the cars. Like that's not very. She wants to chase something, but she's like, I just want to chase the car. She's got nothing to do with whoever's holding the end of the lead. So again, like I'm saying, I'm not saying go and chase something, um, you know, away from me. Chase something with me. Chase me if you want. Like, do you know what I mean? I'll be in the game. You can chase me around. What I might not do, and again, I say that, but some dogs might prefer it. Some dogs like the idea of doing the chasing, and some dogs like to be chased. Obviously, she shows that she wants to do the chasing, so I wouldn't have a problem in letting her chase me around if you want. So, what I what I'll suggest doing now, pass me the lead, just so if I would normally do this off lead, but if I let her off and the car goes past, she's probably going to go and try to chase it, and we won't have a way of telling her to stop it. So I've got this little bike cushion here at the side. I'm going to try and see if she would want to play a little game. Like as soon as I whip that round, she might not have an idea of what to do. So I might need to help her a little bit, understand what the game might look like. And then once she starts to understand what it's like and starts to enjoy it, then I might be able to turn it into a bit of a chase or something. But then what I would like to say, if all that did fall into place, what I would like to say would happen is that I would probably be able to drop the lead, even with the cars going past. She'd still be more interested in chasing this rather than chasing the cars in that moment. So,
Find that when you're on the long line, like say it's right next to like a road.
yeah,
She will never try to go for cars. If you've got that, it's like a ball on a rope where you've got a ball in your hand.
yeah,
She's not interested in it.
no, yeah. So again, in moments like that, though, like use them to our advantage more. Do you know what I mean? Like if we could position all the cars are there. If we could position ourselves at a bit of a gap between us and them cars, but turn the chase from that into this, what we're going to do over here, then maybe she goes, oh, well, I'm not. Yeah, the car's there. I'm not going to do that though because I know that I could do this with you instead, and that's more interactive and more personal between us together rather than I'll just try and do this separately around cars. So yeah. I'm nearly tripping myself up. Wow, good girl. Good, super girl, super good. Good girl. Yeah, super. Go and get it. Nice. Oh, shut up. He's getting jealous because he knows we're messing around. Yes, good. That's it. I like it. Nice. Yeah, super. Yes. No, but that's the thing. Sometimes with play, like that's a new object that's just come out. She's like, I don't get it. What shall I do with it? The thing is, with from our point of view, where what I'm trying to do as well is there's little bits where she just took, like literally just grazes her. But I'm like, yeah, I like it. That's what I need you to do. I want you to be interactive with it. There's been one or two times where she's slightly just put her teeth on it. So I'm like, yeah, good. Like, it's what I like. So just to, she doesn't know, but what some people do is they try and play, and then the dog just like, because they don't understand it, then it looks like it's not happening, and then they go, oh, I'll just leave it then. Like, you're not getting it. Where some dogs need a bit more time and patience to help them understand what the game is. Once, if we had another little go, and then I managed to, for it just, let's say it just randomly happened that you did put your mouth on it, then I make a big deal about it. Yeah, I like it, good, because I want you to know that this is something I want you to do. But still, even there, where you've not really known what the game was, you didn't know that I needed to bite it, but what you still did was still chase me around. And I made you chase me around at some point. Some of them I didn't, because some of them I dropped the lead down as well. And then you still chase me around. But some of the times where I picked the lead back up was where I thought you was getting a bit disinterested just because you didn't understand what the game was going to be. That's when I just picked the lead back up and still sort of got you chasing me around. But because you want to chase things as well, even out of the chase, whether it's you playing the game of tug of war as well, which you didn't do now, but you're still getting enjoyment out of chasing, because that's ideally what you want to do. Like, you wouldn't, if you chase that car down the road, you wouldn't get to it and bite it. You just chase it, and then as it say it stopped, and then you stop now in front of it, you'd be like, all right, I've done the chase now. Like, what do I do at this point? So that's all you want to do, the chase, which was fine. I got you chasing me around. You're a bit tired now already, just after moving around with me. Like, I was getting a little bit out of breath as well. But the thing is, like, with more time and patience, I can maybe help you develop that a little bit more. Like, that's a brand new object. It smells probably of my dog and a few other dogs. So it's like, you might be a bit snobby and go, I don't really put my mouth where someone else has had theirs. But it might just be that you just don't understand. So from my point of view, that's where what I tried to do with it is try to make it a bit, oh, what's that? Like, try and intrigue you a little bit, hide it behind, whip it out, like, just to make you like, hang on, what's that? What's it doing? And then a couple of times where I'd throw it out, like, maybe you might feel a bit more comfortable. And I think she did do it one time where she came over and it was on her own, but she did put her mouth on it. So yeah, good. Like, that's what I wanted you to do. She might not feel as comfortable, like, because we've only met a couple of times. So would she feel comfortable enough of grabbing hold of that with me? Like, maybe if it was you, then maybe a little bit differently. She might like buy into it because she knows that you two play a similar game already, and obviously with you being her owner, she feels more comfortable with you. But the point is can I just have a bit of time and patience just to try and bring it out of you? Because the other thing why she's not doing it is because she don't know. She don't know that's what it is. She don't know that's what I want her to do. It's a new object. She's like, what do I do with it? Do I look at it? Do I smell it? Do I put my mouth on it? Like, I don't know. But as soon as if I was sticking with patience and getting you to, even if I got to this point of just putting your mouth on, what I would do if I felt as though you just put a little bit of pressure onto that with your mouth, I'd let go of it and basically make you feel as though you won something, then like you won a prize. And like, there, you might have just put a little bit on, I might have let go, and you might have let go at that point. But the more I could try and help you understand that that's what I need you to do. What I could do at that point is when you're putting pressure on, then I could slightly add a little bit of pressure into that and just move it ever so slightly. Not try and rag it off you, because then you'd be like, oh, this game's shit. Like, I've just lost. But then from that point, I could turn it up a bit more. Then you turn it up a bit more and put more pressure down. And then same from my side, I'd turn more pressure on. Then we'd actually be playing. And then the actual chase could turn into a better game at the end of it as well. So, like I said, at the minute, you see a car and you want to chase it, but you could play chase with me, but then we could have a mint game at the end of that chase as well. So, obviously, from the objects that you do it with already at home, whether that's like your like a tug rope or it's the ball on a rope sort of thing, that's what I would want, or I would suggest that you bring into your play already, that you maybe get on the chase a little bit, where you let her chase you around. Don't make it too hard to start with. You can make it a little bit more challenging over time. But just to talk briefly then about play. So I'll just pass you back a second. Let me just put that out to the side. So just to talk about play briefly, there's I don't we didn't mention about play last time, did we, in our session? So in play, there's two types of play, and I think from what you just spoke to me about a minute ago of what your play looks like, where like you said you might ask her to stay there and then sort of like wind her up a little bit and then get her to come to you. There's the two different types of play, and that type where we ask for a few things to be done before then play happens, what that is called is cooperative play. So basically I'm asking you to cooperate with me, and then the reward of that would be play. But what I think a lot of dogs need to start with is they might need a different type of play, which is called competitive, where we just challenge each other and we have a fair fight, if you want. If it's like a tug game that we're playing, it's fair. So we might make it look as though you pull me a bit and then I take over, and it looks like I pull you a bit, and then it's like vice versa, if you want. In that type of play like that, what I would try to do as many times as I could is let the dog win. So they might, like, she's only quite small at the minute, and physically you'd obviously probably be quite a lot stronger than her in terms of tugging. But then what I would do, if I felt as though she was working hard, I'd let go, because then I want her to feel as though I'm strong here. I'm confident that I could play this game again and I could win. So the only times during that type of play, really, where I win is if, let's say, she's gripped onto something and then that grip becomes a bit slack and it manages to open up and she hasn't got it enough pressure on it. And I might just be able to just simply like slide it off her. So then it's like she's lost now because she didn't work hard enough, but now I've won. So then what I would do at that point again is I'd realised I've got it. She'd go, oh shit, I've lost it. Then I'd get on the run again and she'd have to come and chase me. And then as she came in and went to grab it, what I might do is nick it out the way. So then she again feels as though I need to chase it again. So then she comes running in. Then what I'd do, I'd produce it for her. And then once we produce it, we can play again. But I'm looking for a next moment where you'll work hard and I'll let go and you could win. So I want you to win as many times as possible, but I'll win if you're not working as strong as you could. But that's the type of play that I want to build up before I think about asking you to cooperate with me. Because, like, let's say if I got Ovi out now, I could say to him, do X, Y, and Z. And he'd do all of it because he knows the outcome of it would be the play at the end. So he's got no problem at all in doing the cooperation. And he's actually probably enjoying the work that I'm asking him to do because he's so excited to play a game at the end. So what I would do is just focus on competitive play first. Like I said, get into what you actually want to do. You want to chase something, and then we'll get into doing the fight together, tug of war, or whatever it might be, through the objects that you already have at home. If it takes a little bit of time like that, not a problem. Like, we've just done that for 5 minutes or so, and a bit of patience was needed from my side just to try to encourage her a little bit more. And let's say 5 minutes goes by, there's only a couple of moments where she put her mouth on it and I was able to say, like, yeah, I like it. Then I've put it away now, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to push her too much on it. And then she goes, I hate when you get that toy out because you just put like pure pressure on me, and then I end up not enjoying it. So let's say I put it away, and then a little bit further down the line, I go, I'm going to get that out again. I'm going to be really patient, going to try and get a couple more out of you. And then you'll start to maybe enjoy it a bit more then, because I'm not hounding you for like 20 minutes trying to get the same outcome, but you just need patience from me, maybe holding it to try and get that from you. So that's what she wants to do. She wants to do the chase. So just play, just let her chase you. Even if you have hold of the thing and you get on a bit of a spin around and get her to come in and then grab it, and then that can turn into your tug game. What I would do is I'd let go, let her win, then I'd run off. She's got the toy, object, whatever it is. I'd run off again. Then again, she's got the toy, but I want her to feel as though once she's got it and she sees me moving off, I want her to feel like she has to draw towards me, like a magnet effect. Like we just get pulled back together. So by me moving off when she's won, it should make her come back in. Then I could just scoop the toy up and start playing again. But then from that point, I'm looking for a moment. Can I slip it? And then, or if not, and you're working hard and you've got a good grip, I'll just let go again. And then the next, like I said, little bit of the chase would be you having it and me just coming off again. But what I do sometimes, you don't have to do this every time, but let's say that's happened now, where you feel as though you draw in towards, and what I do is pretend to grab it, but not, and just move out the way again, and run off now in the next direction. Because what you'll do is go, like, you'll feel a bit disappointed that I didn't actually grab it and start playing again. So now you'll have to come and chase me again. So you get enjoyment out of the chase part of this game. The game doesn't just have to be us wrestling each other. If you like chasing, I'll throw chase into the game as well. But that's what I feel as though you need. If you do more of that type of play and adding that chase into it, like I said, it gives her an outlet to express what she wants, what she enjoys chasing. But see, when we like stood at the side of the road now, and she feels as though that happens in my head, and I get excited about going to try to chase that car. What she feels straight away though is obviously restriction through the lead, and then what that restriction is doing is making her become frustrated, and then her drive goes up because the actual drive that she's doing it in, like let's say she's doing it because she got high prey drive, right? That drive is increasing, it's becoming more intense. And then actually chasing a car becomes more desirable because of how intense your drive feels in that moment. So she gets enjoyment out of trying to do it, but then her trying to do it keeps getting shut down because of the lead. Then eventually she starts getting pissed off maybe about, oh, I hate when cars turn up because I instantly feel a certain way about it. And obviously I don't want her to then turn that into maybe a more like a defensive thing of I hate cars. I don't want them anywhere near us. So when they now fly by, I just have to go mad at them because I don't want them here because they really do me head in. But like I said, if I was giving you that chance to chase something, and I just said I've got no problem with you chasing something, but it has to be in this controlled manner when it's through a game, not in real life, trying to chase things down the street or something like that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's what I would do with play. I know, like I said, through the rope toy or a ball and a rope sort of thing, you two together might already have a nice little thing going with that. That was a brand new object, which she goes, I don't know what to do with it. So again, for something new, it takes a bit of time and patience to try to get something out of it. But if it was something new I was trying to introduce, I'd try and do it a couple of times. Even if I got two out of it, I'd be like, right, yes, sound, let's put it away, get it back out later. I get two more, put it away. Next time, maybe I get a few more. Do you know what I mean? And just gradually build it up. But if you two already got something going with a rope or something, do it, but get the chase going as well, because the more you could let her express it, I think that would have an effect on she didn't try it as many times then as well. Because you've already give her an outlet for that behaviour.